Hey, hey, we are going to get started pretty soon. Just getting some stuff situated. Getting some stuff situated. Okay. Just want to make sure that we are live on all platforms. And we're gonna talk about some good stuff. I think this is something that the
People was getting the D Rose flu. Cass was, he would come and tell Cass he ain't want to play.
the community needs. And I'm pretty excited. Before we get started, I just want to make sure I have everything. Like I said, everything is up and running. Okay. So, let's see. Okay. We are live. Triple link. Cool. Okay. All right, nice. So, one last thing. I am going to post this here. And yeah. All right, so we're really going to talk about like the overall theme is like how we can work less and make more money. Okay. Now I'm talking about, being overworked. Okay, I used to be an IT technician and Jesus Christ, it was horrible. It was insane. Right. So nonetheless, I'm going to talk about, just my story, a little bit about some stuff I wish I knew, and how we can, have a little bit more freedom, right? So, this live won't be long, and I really just want to talk about like, it's really crazy how most software engineers are living the same trapped life I was experiencing as an IT technician, right? So let me explain. Back when I was in IT support, I was that guy, right? Like driving site to site, fixing everyone's problems, getting home at 7 to 8 p.m. every night, like missing family dinners, like missing moments that actually mattered. Right? Sound familiar? Right. But here's the thing. I see that same pattern with software engineers. It's a different job, but it's the same trap, right? Instead of driving to clients, right, you're stuck in endless debugging sessions. And I know this because a lot of my students, they're software engineers and they tell me this, or I have conversations with software engineers. It's ridiculous. It's insane. Right? So instead of fixing printers, you're fixing production issues around like 9 p.m. The salary might be better, but the freedom, it's still missing. Okay? So my breaking point was when I missed a very important birthday, someone that means a lot to me. I missed their birthday. I promised I'll be there, but the entire network went down. And by the time I fixed it and got home, like, it was too late, right? I missed like the highlight moment. And that moment hit different, I'm not gonna lie. But here's where it gets interesting. When I transitioned into when I transitioned into cloud engineering, I noticed that, you know, the same principles that helped me escape like the IT support trap could be applied to software engineering. It's honestly it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier just because of the concepts and tools that software engineers already have, right? So some of the things is like, you know, you don't have to spend so much time debugging. You don't have to spend so much time on work, to be honest with you. Like you're not overly working. You're not, working on the weekends. And so I really just want to talk about this because I think that there's a lot of software engineers out there that could, be exposed to this, to cloud engineering. Right? So nonetheless, if you're a software engineer, you're already in a position of leverage. You just need to know how to use it. So I'm going to break down the three biggest traps keeping software engineers stuck. Okay. The first one is the availability trap. Right. For me as a tech, I had to be on site. As an engineer, you think you need to be online. The reality is both are false constraints. Right. Number two is the time money trap. Right. So, I'm thinking in IT as IT tech, the more sites that I go on, the more tickets that I troubleshoot, it might be more promotion. There's going to be a promotion with more money. Yes, that may be true, but this is just a more effective way of making more money while not exhausting myself. In engineering, right, software engineer, the more hours equals the more output. But in reality, the impact that you have isn't really tied to the amount of time you invest. Okay. Number three, right, this is the biggest trap that's keeping software engineers stuck, is the control trap. Right. So IT, right, technician, we're controlled by ticketing queues. Right. Engineering, right, software engineering, you're controlled by sprint deadlines. Like, I know you guys can relate because I've heard some crazy story about, how there's so many different projects, there's different deadlines, and it's just insane. But the reality is that you can design your own system. Now, here's what I learned from my transition that applies perfectly to software engineering. Okay. So actually, let's take a step back. I want to show you how this works in practice. When I was in IT, I automated my ticket system to handle 80% of common issues. And as a software engineer, you can do the same thing with code review automations, development workflow, communication protocols, just different stuff that you can automate. And not even just that, right? I want to show you exactly how you could make more money while working less. We want to understand how to gain more time. We want more of our time back. Okay, we do not want to be on call on the weekends. That's just just hustling the software engineer grind. Okay, you guys are already in an amazing position. I'm going to list out some things, step-by-step things that you can do to be successful. Okay? I'm literally going to show you exactly how you can break into a role, cloud engineering, that will cause you to make more money and work less. Okay? So, before I get started, I kind of want to see in the chat how many people are serious about learning this. Honestly, it's really not even that difficult, right? You just have to have a system or framework to know exactly what you need to do. Okay, so the tech stack. Okay, the first thing you want to focus on is Linux, right? You want to focus on Linux commands, right? You wanna go out there, go to AWS, learn a cloud provider. It's pretty simple, right? You just have to understand some concepts. But I'm gonna give actually let's take a step back. I want to give you like an 8-week plan. Okay. The first 1 to 2 weeks, simply just deploy a simple website. I actually just made a new video on this of me creating my own website and using ChatGPT to do all that stuff in AWS. You can walk through it step by step. But go out there, learn how to deploy a simple website, right? Launch an EC2 instance, install Apache web server, set up Route 53 for your domain, configure security groups. Like I have a step-by-step tutorial on my channel showing this exact process. So that's week one. Week one and two. Go ahead and get your hands dirty. Okay. Week 3 and 4, you want to build a serverless API. Create a Lambda function. Set up an API gateway. Connect it to DynamoDB. Actually make it do something useful, like a to-do list API. Right? And then week 5 and 6, you want to set up CI/CD. Right? Push your code to GitHub. Set up GitHub Actions and make it automatically deploy to AWS. Learn how to monitor it using tools like AWS CloudWatch. And then for the next 2 to 3 weeks, right, let's turn this knowledge into money. Right? You want to start building portfolio projects. Right? So here's some projects you can go out there and do. Right? You can build a multi-tier web application. Okay, a serverless image processing pipeline. Okay, an automate backup solution. Each one shows different AWS skills employers want. You can do you can simulate a cloud migration project. Okay, in AWS, and so you want to document everything that you're doing. So create architecture diagrams for each project. Okay, write clear readmes, document your decision-making process. This is what separates you from other candidates. Okay, and then interview prep. You want to practice explaining your project in 2 minutes. Learn to whiteboard architecture. Later down the line, I'll drop a video on this. And then master the why behind your technical choices. Like, to be honest, like, certifications are cool, but these projects will get you the job. I've seen it happen with my students, literally. Okay? So, quick wins that you can do today, right? Really quick, you can set up your AWS free tier account, right? It takes less than 5 minutes. You can join 2 to 3 AWS Discord communities. Just do a quick Google search. You can follow 5 AWS developers on Twitter or LinkedIn, right? See how they think, see what they're doing. You know, just kind of read up on, you know, what their thoughts and what they're doing. Okay. Fork my project templates from GitHub. The link will be in the description after this live. Actually, GitLab. Okay. Just, fork my projects, and then set up a study schedule. 2 hours daily minimum. Okay. So this isn't just theory. Like, I'm not just talking out my, rear end. This is the exact path that's worked for my students. One of them just landed a cloud role last week. Actually, 2 weeks ago he landed one, and then he had another offer letter last week. Okay, but it was based off of this approach of learning, from a hands-on approach, building stuff that companies need. You're learning the different tools and technology that you need for cloud engineering. Okay. And so the whole point is to work less and make more money. And I found that when I was a technician, right, I was working I would get home 7, 8 p.m., driving through traffic, not leaving work. Sometimes I would do projects where I would just literally be on site for hours, after hours, right? And now I'm a cloud engineer, and I've realized I work remote. It's a really good pay, and it just creates the opportunity, to really work less than you did as a software engineer or technician. For me, in my situation, you just work a lot less, and you make a lot more in my case. And so, um, yeah, man, remember, like, this stuff is learnable. I'm living proof. So let's get to work. All right. That's pretty much it.